I think I've mentioned it before that the value is linked into not only contract, but I think English players, the transfer market of them is just a lot more. It's just the way it goes. But I think Aiden has improved again, actually. Or maybe the stamina's come down. Or has that gone up? I'm confused. But no, I think there might be slight improvement and a couple of them have gone down. But it's looking good. He's Liverpool's main centre back. Yep, there you go. Only 2 games shy. 50 overall appearances. He's chasing Al down for the overall appearance haul record. And obviously he's been playing at a lot higher level than Al from a young age. Because around this time, Al was sort of just yo-yoing between the championship stuff. So Aiden's been, you pretty much say, first teams for the last 5 seasons now, 6 seasons. So it's good. And he's in his peak years at Liverpool, so expect him to stay there. He's got a long contract, I think. 3 years, so no real issues with the England squad on international duty. Liverpool, I don't think they did anything, did they? Nothing this year, so Aiden's on his longest spell without a trophy in a long time. But there's still the World Cup to come. He'd take that if he didn't win anything domestically for a few years to get the biggest prize of all. I'm sure he'd probably exchange all his trophies here just to get a World Cup medal. Just because I know more about the 1966 English team than I do about a lot of things in relative to history of the world and stuff like that. So he could make a name for himself for eternity. This goes for the other English guys. England are obviously more likely to win it than Ireland. Check out his injury. He can't have been injured that much. Just a matter of days. Check his profile. No immediate plans. Just content, plodding along. Just again, they all trained us to stay back at all times. But he does shoot with power, so he can get the odd one, I imagine. But very good defender. There was a worry at one point when his determination dropped that I had really high hopes of him England captain and just being England's regular centre back. But then when that dropped down, I started to worry, but he's maintained it. He didn't go off the rails. Just rather than be like the best defender, he's probably just very, very, very good on a domestic level rather than in the greatest top 10 centre backs like I thought he could have been. Well, we all had potential, I suppose, but Aiden will be happy with it. He's playing for England, winning things. He's won the most out of everyone, I think. So that's good. On the cap front, you'd imagine he'll be starting in the World Cup, or however they do it, stupidly rotate people in and out. Okay, on to John. I think this is his second season at City now. He's still got a good work rate. I think his agility and balance have gone down a bit. Just a lot of caps. I think he's got the most caps out of everyone thus far. And he's played a few less games, but it's consistent. This is his third season at City. Been there a while. Yeah, I want John to leave City just to play more games and feel like someone out of all the fullbacks at the start, he was the one with the most potential if they'd trained him to be more attacking. But I can't remember who it was now. It might have been Tottenham or Brentford. Retrained his foot, so that wasted valuable training time and didn't really kick on the physical side. Because I gave him natural fitness and work rate, so I expected this to be amazing, but it didn't really happen. But he's maintained a good standard across the board. It's just a shame he went to such 2 big teams that just more. They saw him as a rotation, a great option for cover, rather than like a Novak who just was the main man at a smaller team. So again, we've seen him feature in the cup final. He actually played, whereas Connor was on the bench, which is interesting. Whereas Connor tends to have played more games in the league. maybe it's because it's it's FA Cup. Sometimes in the Capital One Cup, you play your backups in the early rounds, and then you feel bad when it gets to the semi-final stage that you don't want to just bring in your first team players when it's the other guys who've got you that far. So I thought that might be in the case. John being for backup or rotation, or an example of Connor why he didn't play, they might have thought, we'll give it to the third choice centre back option. But in a cup final, probably be tough to do that, especially for the computer to factor it in. But they do rotate so much, and if you've seen it yourself in the World Cup, they can leave your best player out for some stupid reason. Okay, so just got a man of the match along the way. He's hardly scored any goals for someone who had all very good attacking ability from a wing back position. Hardly got any goals. He's averaging nearly a goal every 50 games, which is not great by anyone's standards, especially someone who's been playing for good teams where you think they'd spread the goals around, or he'd at least be getting assists and things like that. So it's disappointing, but there's still, I guess, time for John to go somewhere and just play like more than 30 games in a season in the league. He does only have 1 year left. He's worth a fair bit, because if he had more years on his contract, he'd be nearer 20 million. How much did City sign him for again? I forget. 20 years. So that's probably around what his true value is. And if he did leave within now or 12 months, he'd find a good team, I think. Someone mid-prem or even high-prem, and they'd just start him. It's just finding the right spot where there's no one, the competition isn't as fierce in the fullback positions. Not that I know who City have at fullback. Check the injuries out, because I know I sometimes miss injuries with John. But again, he's had a great year. I mean, he hasn't hardly in. So go back. You have to go back to 2022 before he's had more than 4 weeks. So that's excellent. And he's got a World Cup to look forward to. Hopefully no suspensions this time. But Beasley's obviously been crushed, I've noticed, because he missed the penalty in the last Euros. And he's not in the squad now. He's hardly played. I don't think they've left him out because of the squad issue. The penalty issue is the fact that he's just not been playing. But you could argue he has been mentally crushed since missing that pen. I feel like I've missed someone, like I've gone past someone, but we'll just crack on. All right, so my contract's been extended. I think I'm doing okay. My pace has come back a little bit. That went down as low as 9 at one point, I think. They say you can't teach speed. I'm driven. I played a fair amount of games. I don't know how I'm playing these amount of games, because the Dutch file isn't saved in this. When you go into Heerenveen, it wouldn't show. We've done it before. It wouldn't show the fixtures, so I'm not sure how accurate these ratings are, and it's some of my lowest ratings. But I've been there a few years now, or 2.5 years. That was half a season at Tenerife. So I'm happy just knocking about playing, but I would like to go after those 2 years. I'll be 30, and it'd just be nice to, I don't know, just go somewhere different, see how it goes. In terms of my personal achievements, I don't think Heerenveen aren't going to win much. I think I've won the least actually out of everyone. I did play in that final. I was about to say I probably didn't even play then, but I think I did from memory. And I'm finally, touch wood, in an international squad I think now it's the 5th time of asking, and it'd be cruel if I get another injury, just because in the last Euros I would have featured, because the amount of suspensions and injuries we had at Ireland at fullback. I'm quite versatile in that regard. I can back up John or whoever else playing at fullback. But again, I'm still getting my injuries. Oh, that was the one that kept me out of the World Cup actually, or the Euros, sorry. But for the last couple of years, it's been good for me finally. But we'll see. I won't count